You're listening to 90.1 FM, WEFT, with your girl Renee Angela, and I am in the space, on location at Beads and Botanicals to bring you in some knowledge. I know I promised you folks several weeks ago that I was going to bring you knowledge of reflexology with my friend here, Marlita, and then we've got, came in with the Tibetan monks, so you can see that, hopefully on Sunday. UPTV Channel 6 for those Comcast users, Channel 99 for AT&T Uverse users. I will put the footage up on my YouTube page, Renee Angela. And as I said last week, you might have to put like Renee Angela Tibetan monks or Renee Angela Angel Eye Moment or something like that, because if you just put in Renee Angela, you'll come up with the duo singing group. So I'm explaining that all to you as of now. But right now, we have another episode of Health and Soulful Being, which I'm very, very honored to have Marlita in the space, or be in Marlita's space, so that we can talk about reflexology and her practice and all of that wonderful things. Welcome, Marlita. How are you?
Very good.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you for letting me share with you.
Well, thank you for sharing with me in this wonderful series. I've met so many people like yourself that's just amazing, and I'm just loving your light and your radiation. So
thank you.
So thank you for having me in your space and making time for me. Let's get to just some basics right now. Why don't we start off with just giving a little bit of background on yourself and how you decided to get into those aspects of the healing and reflexology. And you're also a massage therapist too. So
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm confused.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay.
So, but how Reiki. That's what you do. Reiki. and reflexology. So give us a little background of how you decided to go into those mediums.
Well, several years ago, lots of years ago, I had a health challenge, and some of the results I was getting by certain means were okay, but I just wanted to explore more options to see, because some philosophies, thoughts on healing are different, and there's so many out there. So I was drawn to herbs.
Okay.
I first went to an herbalist, and of course that involved changing my diet and doing some nutritional things and correcting some habits.
Yeah.
And as I did that as a process, I felt better, within the first week.
Okay.
Enough to make me want to continue. And the longer I did that, the better I felt. And then actually it was my stepmother and I that decided to open our little business. So we went and trained in nutrition and herbs and helping people that way. Okay. And that was good. And then those circumstances changed, and later on it just started branching out into other areas other than just working with the physical body. But to work with the mental, spiritual, and emotional bodies also.
Okay.
And I really feel that reflexology can tap into all of those areas as well as the physical body.
All right.
So it just keeps growing, and the same with, and then it was Reiki and just all kinds of different ways to help people, because not everybody likes to be helped in the same way.
Right.
Absolutely. So the more variety I can offer, I can give a more rounded healing.
Oh, goodness, wonderful. A whole wellness, and that's what this show is about. The whole wellness of everything. And I think that's the way we are moving in this new, I don't know if you want to call it a new system of healing, or a new system of evolution, is in kind of in that wellness, rounded wellness of the mind, body, and spirit. And so, like you were saying, reflexology for you kind of incorporates all of those aspects. For the folks out there, what is reflexology?
Oh, well, reflexology was originally known as zone or reflex zone therapy.
Okay.
Okay, and basically it's a holistic method that involves pressure and massage of the reflex points on the feet and hands.
Okay.
So they're very simple techniques, however they can be very effective. No one really knows, though, where reflexology originated.
I was reading that they have different thought processes of the origination of reflexology, of how it come from.
Right. They found evidence in an Egyptian tomb dating back to 2330 BC.
Oh,
and
wow.
There was 4 people, and they were working on hands and feet. And then it goes back to China, too.
Yes.
As far, they found evidence from 12,000 BC. So nobody knows really where it came from. And every book you read somehow has a little bit of a different slant on that. The credit for reflexology in the United States is given to Dr. William Fitzgerald.
Okay.
Now, he was born in 1872, and he graduated at the University in Vermont in 1895. He was working in Vienna, and he studied under a Dr. H. Bressler, who had researched the link between pressure points on the feet and the internal organs.
Oh, wow.
He published his findings in a book called Zone Therapy. And Dr. Bressler also mentions that therapeutic foot massage was practiced in the 14th century.
Oh, wow.
On and off during history, it's had that where it becomes very popular, and then it kind of dies out a little bit, and people kind of forget about it, and then it gains popularity again. And right now it's on that upswing again. And there's most people, I would say, probably know something about reflexology. At least know what it is.
Yes, yes. I even seen like in the mall they have a little shop or something like that, and I would have never thought that a little mall would have. Well, Marketplace is not a little mall, but a mall would have something on that line of that kind of the healing arts is the reflexology, because sometimes we still the alternative practices we still kind of shy away from, but like you said, it's beginning to gain popularity and be on the upsweep again. And just from the massage, I think people are appreciating, because so much is being done to our feet. With walking, especially us females who walk around in heels like myself, so it's like your feet is, in my opinion, and I'd love to know your opinion, but in my opinion, it's like the grounding source of your body is your feet and your hands, and so because they handle so much between the two, the hands and the feet, and that resonates into the different parts of your body. So if you step on something that, like a pebble, that's going to radiate all the way up through you, or if you're handling something, the energy of it is going to still radiate through you. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, yes, certainly. I agree totally. And also feet, they have to handle a tremendous amount of pressure too, just the physical structure. But and feet are the most commonly neglected body part.
Yes.
Because people sometimes think they have ugly feet, or as long as they're functional, they're beautiful feet as far as. And usually when somebody says I have really ugly feet, I've not seen a really pair of ugly feet yet, and I've been doing this a long time. But yeah, to care for the feet, because it has a way of relaxing you, because it does, it radiates throughout the entire body.
Okay. And
more people than not love to have their feet rubbed. I know my mom does. I work on her feet once a week. And for her, it helps her just relax. It helps her feel more grounded.
Yes.
More in touch with things, because she's having a few challenges now, but I've noticed that she sleeps better too.
Oh, okay.
A lot better since I started working her feet.
Wow, I never even thought of it, and that it's so relaxing that it would help you with with the relaxation of sleep and the inheritance of sleep.
Sure, because our body is always working to be in a state of homeostasis or balance. And reflexology can really encourage.
What are these systems of zones, these zone systems in the feet and the hands, and why are they used?
Okay, the body is divided into 10 equal energy zones.
Okay.
5 on either side of the median line or the middle.
Okay.
So it's like your body's split down the
Right.
middle.
And in anatomy
and you have
class,
5 on
I
each side.
remember
Yes.
learning about the medial.
Yes.
So yes, which is the middle.
Okay, and those extend from the fingers to the brain and then down to the toes.
Okay.
And there are lateral or the vertical zones, and then there's 3 horizontal zones that govern the trunk of the body in those areas.
Okay.
So basically what their function is a map. It's a map to show you where the reflexes are and the correlation of the feet, the points on the feet to, say, the organs or the areas of the body.
Okay. So those are the zones. Okay.
It's a map.
All right. Our body is a map.
Yeah.
So we have to map out our systems.
Yes. Yes.
to get it to balance, like you said, that homeostatic state or homeostasis state, shall I say, for full functioning.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sounds good. I know I was also reading, as I was kind of doing a little bit of research on reflexology, and they were talking about these tenets. Are those the same thing as the zones, or are the tenets different? Reflexology tenets.
Okay, tenets.
Yes. The tenets of reflexology. That's what I was reading something about.
Basically, it is the belief system.
Okay.
Behind reflexology. Let me look real quick here.
Okay.
Yes. And the premise of everything that reflexology is built on, in other words, is that the body is reflected on the feet through a system of reflexes. The objective of the reflexologist is to stimulate these reflexes. Reflexology basically teaches that a vital energy circulates between the organs of the body, permeating every cell and tissue. If this energy becomes congested, and some call it blocked, that part of the body relating to the congestion or where the congestion is could be affected. By using specific pressure techniques, the flow of the energy is restored.
Okay. All right. So by kind of applying the pressure to these certain spaces on your hands and feet, that's what kind of maneuvers the energies, shall I say?
Right.
Or,
right.
Okay.
So if
Like you were saying.
you come and you said, "Oh, my shoulder hurts," then I would rub that shoulder area on your foot.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Now what? Oh, no,
And
I'm about ready to take my shoes off.
Yeah.
Okay, where's that area?
and vice versa, which makes it very handy because you don't have to disrobe or anything.
Right.
You just have your shoes and socks off.
Okay. All right.
So, and most people are very comfortable with that.
Yes, definitely. It is. It's very unnerving when you have to start taking more to pieces of articles of clothing, which is our armor. You know, it's
Sure.
it's our cloaks, it's our armor, and so to be in that vulnerable state, and I can see where it'd be a lot more unnerving or relaxing when it's just, okay, just take off your shoes. Well, a lot of times we take off our shoes anyway, or take off, we don't wear gloves anymore, so our hands are free, and that's not, so unnerving as well either. Another question, as we were talking about pressure, is there a great difference between reflexology and acupressure? I know acupuncture and,
Right.
it would be a totally different state, but acupressure and reflexology, are they similar, or there are some great differences there?
They both work holistically.
Yes.
But the main difference between reflexology and acupressure is that acupressure points can be all over the body, whereas reflexology is mainly focused on the feet acupuncture is based on traditional Chinese medicine also, and is based on working on, they call these energy lines through the body meridians.
Okay.
And then they have a whole system with that. I believe there's 12. So acupressure also uses thumbs, fingers, elbows, and there's tools. There's cupping. Have you heard of cupping?
No, I haven't heard of cupping.
But that's a way to move the energy through the body with like heated cups, and they make a suction. And then also
I've seen it. Okay,
right.
Now I'm getting it now. Yeah.
And then there's also a technique called moxibustion, which is heat passed through an herb over the points too, in acupressure. So there's reflexology has very little tools. You know, usually just a set of hands and a set of feet, or 2 sets of hands.
Okay.
So
do you use any other tools, like maybe like some aromatherapy or?
Now I don't know if it's traditional reflexology or the way the International Institute teaches is basically you apply nothing.
Okay.
If you need something, powder. Use powder on the feet because you really want to get in there and work those areas. My technique is a little less aggressive that way, and I have found that incorporating the essential oils with that helps that congested energy break free a little quicker.
Okay.
And then you get the nice aromas, and it's very relaxing. Sometimes I do get a request to not use any oils, and I'm fine with that too. And I do like to finish the session with a nice lotion.
Oh, okay.
Which is really not part of reflexy.
Right.
It's not part of the traditional reflexology treatment, but that's my little finish on it to give you a nice little lavender lotion on your feet so they're soft.
Your own spin on things.
And they always smell good when I get done with them.
So
always.
So you kind of incorporate like you were saying, taking care of the feet. That a lot of times people don't do that. So this is where I'm kind of getting it from, is that not only are you taking care of the feet from the reflex point of view or the zones point, but just that little extra something to say, okay, your feet are important. We're going to take care of them.
Yeah, kind of put your signature on it.
Yeah, so especially I can see where the people that would say my feet are ugly would leave and not feel like their feet are so ugly anymore. Because now sometimes it's just self-care, you know, sometimes it's just taking care of that aspect, and you know, you don't want to take care of it, so you just say, oh gosh, they're ugly, I'm not going to look at it, because the time to care for it. So,
Sure. And I tell people, appreciate your feet, because you'd have a really hard time walking around without them.
Yeah.
So.
And there are some people that can't walk. So, and that they appreciate the fact that if you can walk, you know. So, like you said, definitely take care of them. And you know, one of the things, and this is just a sidebar though, one of the things that I always have found fascinating about feet is how they even protect themselves. And so, like my sister is in cosmetology school, and she was talking about how that kind of protective covering on the soles of your feet, and she's like, you know, don't loofah those off completely, because that's what protects it from the layer of skin that's right underneath it. Right. And so I was just like, wow, I never thought of it. You know, we spend so much time trying to pumice these so-called calluses, and she's like, it's callousing for a reason. Otherwise, you're not going to have any protection. So I always thought that was kind of cool, that's what our hands and our feet do. That it's not necessarily that they callous because something's wrong, but just to keep the layer of skin, whatever it is, the epidermis or whatever that's right underneath it, that level of, so that can stay protected, so you can still have your cloak and your skin and
right, because an overall toughening of the foot skin is that's pretty normal for people who go barefoot a lot, which I do. I always just gone barefoot anytime I could, anytime the temperatures were comfortable. if you do get hard calluses in an area, you might want to change your shoes, because the callus will protect an area that gets excess pressure. So if you learn to even out the pressure on your feet too, maybe change your shoes, you know, and rotate them can be quite helpful for preventing the big nasty ones.
I'm sitting here like, she's talking to me. She's really talking to me.
Get some of those little cushions in there. You know?
Because that's my problem. I'm walking around in heels all the time. And so I've got this two little spots on both feet that are really, really hard in a sense, because, you know, I'm walking around in heels all the time.
Sure.
And I hardly ever balance. I'm either barefoot or in heels. I never had that happy medium in between. So there I go. So that's my story, people. Take it. Why do you think reflexology at this point is starting to be an effective complement to other forms of alternative treatments or treatments? I'm hearing where more and more people are going to reflexologists as kind of, you know, like an addition to other forms of treatments.
Personally, I feel that having some reflexology sessions along with some other therapies that you're doing can be quite helpful, especially if they're spaced apart. Because we know when we go, say, get a massage or go to the chiropractor, we feel really good at first. And then sometimes it has a tendency to wear off and we go back to the same discomforts. So getting a little reflexology in there can actually keep that energy circulating for you, and it can encourage the relaxation that comes from the other modalities that you use. Right. Now, I'm not saying go get a treatment and get your feet done, you know, like stack them up, because if you put too much input into the human body, it doesn't process. It doesn't process.
Oh, wow.
You know, it's like you can overload it, and then all the circuits have to decipher.
Right.
So if you space out your techniques, you know, and go for a nice flow. Some of my clients come once a week. Some come once a month. Some come once every 2 weeks. You know, and they may do other things along with that, chiropractic, you know, and then the next week get some feet done and then go to your next visit. So it can be a wonderful addition in helping the body stay relaxed, keeping you calm and keeping your spirits up. You know, because
and that interim between the others.
Because it always feels good to do something good for yourself.
Yes. And this is something that's good for yourself. Let's discuss some more about your practice, because we just kind of like just a little bit touched on your practice. I love the name Nature's Wonders. I love that. Where in the world what made you come up with Nature's Wonders?
Well,
and I just want to let you all know that her Facebook page has this. Is it a phoenix? Oh, the most beautiful picture of a phoenix I've ever seen. So I just had to. I was sitting there like, you know, so you get on the page and you're already, in my case, I was mesmerized. I can't even talk. I was so excited. I was just mesmerized, because I have to think about the phoenix rising from the ashes. So, you know, so having gone through cancer, well, I mean, just so much stuff that I've been through, but the latest developments was from the cancer and all those treatments. I have an affinity for the whole phoenix rising from the ashes. I completely understand that whole concept behind that. So I just had to put that in there. But getting back to the question at hand, Nature's Wonders, what made you come up with that title?
Well, after several weeks of contemplating and going through, you know, just all kinds of names, it occurred. It's like one day it just popped in. It occurred to me that, okay, it's nature, it's natural, which is the natures, and then, you know, okay, nature's gifts, what is it? Nature's wonders, because it's still somewhat of a mystery.
Yes, and it kind of gives you that
Yeah, because nobody knows exactly, you know, how some of these things work. but the results are phenomenal.
Yes.
And they're wonderful. So there
Nature's
came Nature's wonders.
Oh, that
And
is so
I
beautiful.
Just keep discovering more and more wonders every day.
Well, that's what it is. I think that's what keeps life going and changing and feeling good is this when you can move into that space of every day being a wonder or being full of wonder, full of that
Yes.
awe-inspiring. As you are building your business, what are you visioning? What from the have you gone to? Okay, this is where to the nth degree. This is where I want to be.
I'm getting there, and like I say, it started with the herbs and
Yes.
helping people that way, and then that market, I think people are just tired of capsules and taking things. So my main thing was to be able to work with as many people as I could. So that's why I branched off in lots of different areas because people prefer different things.
Yes.
And that was my whole, is just to be able to contact and work with as many people as possible. And along the way, though, it's funny sometimes what I get drawn to because when I was a teenager in high school, I never dreamed that I would be doing this.
What did you think you were going to do?
I was going to go, I knew I wanted to work with art in some way, whether it be with animals.
I can tell that you have this artistic flow. That's why I asked that question because I could see that. It's like, okay, I see an artist in right now, and so that's what I was thinking that's why I asked you that question.
Yeah, because at the place I was then, my mind was limited to either the mediums of paint, pencil, your traditional
Yes.
arts, of drawing and all of those. And I really did love to sketch and draw since I was a kid. But then as life took me on, it was either that or a veterinarian.
Oh.
I know, and that's a wide span.
Yes.
Because I loved animals too. And then I went out into the real world, got my job, and just a regular job and all that, and did that for several years. And when I became less healthy and feeling bad a lot, that was my nudge. So that was a total blessing for me.
All right.
To have that challenge and then seek out more than just conventional.
Yes.
And then it started a love affair, and it's just been going on and going on and going on.
Expanding and growing.
Because the natural health field, which encompasses a whole universe in itself,
yes,
it's never boring. And I'm one that I need that stimulation. I need to do lots of things.
And most artists are like that because I'm like that as well, and I definitely understand your story because I'm sitting here. I'm like, she's got my story. We've got the same story because I was the same way. I mean, I was in high school and I just knew I was going to be a fashion designer. And if somebody told me I wasn't going to be a fashion designer, I'd have told them they was crazy.
Right.
So I mean, that was me. I'd always wanted to be a fashion designer, but like you said, those circumstances switch you off to somewhere else, and so. Now I'm saying if people had told me I was going to be on radio and television, I'd have told them they was crazy. So that's where I kind of am like, how the shift comes. But I'm enjoying every moment of it because I get to meet wonderful people like you.
Sure.
I really do enjoy just being able to talk to other people and seeing just your lights and being able to share it with the listeners and the viewers that go into the soulful realm. So it's all about the soul, full of soul.
Yes.
As we kind of wrap things up, are there any upcoming events or that you're participating in or?
Well, I'm always at Beads and Botanicals.
Yes. What days and times are you here at Beads and Botanicals?
I'm here on the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays of the month.
Okay.
Usually start at noon. However, if you need an earlier appointment, you can call and make arrangements with Catherine.
Okay.
She books all my appointments.
All right. And that phone number is?
217.
Okay.
365. 9355.
9355.
It spells well.
365
W-E-L-L.
well.
Yes.
All right. So you can contact Catherine and she'll book the appointment second and fourth Wednesdays from noon to
I think 5.
Okay, noon to 5. All right.
Right. I mean, 5 o'clock is probably 5:30 if you want a half an hour, because
Okay.
we usually shut at 6. And then
Okay.
we have Reiki Circle tonight too.
Oh,
That's always
goodness.
the second Wednesday of the month, and everyone is invited to
Okay.
come. We share Reiki. You learn. You could learn to how to sense energy with your hands,
Okay.
and that's kind of. A preempt to ones who are thinking about maybe taking the Reiki class, because
Okay.
I teach Reiki classes, and we have several of those coming up
All
throughout
right.
the year. So you can look on Catherine's website, the
Okay.
beadsandbotanicals.com,
Beads and Botanicals. Okay.
and find those.
All right.
And basically between here and there, I keep pretty busy.
Not bad. You keep pretty busy, and that's why I'm so glad that you have taken time out to discuss reflexology. And yes, she's a Reiki practitioner as well. So are you just at the practitioner level, or are you you're at the master teacher
right,
level?
master teacher,
Because
yes.
you teach
Yes.
Reiki. So if you want to learn Reiki, you can always contact Marlita or contact Beads and Botanicals. Go online and see when the next classes are. And then, like you said, the Reiki Circle is tonight.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
here we go. We have a Reiki Circle, and it's on the second. You said second Wednesday.
It's
So
always the second Wednesday of the month.
Second Wednesday of the month, where you can go to Reiki and just kind of see and decipher whether or not you want to expand into the energy healing arts. Thank you, Marlita,
Yes.
so very much. Thank you, Namaste,
Well, thank you, Angela.
for
Namaste.
participating in this. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to talk again, maybe talk some Reiki next time.
Oh, certainly.
All right.
Thank
Take
you
care.
much.
You're listening to 90.1 FM WEFT, and this is your girl Renee Angela. As another episode, we're closing out another episode of Health and Soulful Being. Coming up next week, I've got for you all James, who is coming in to talk about Qigong and Tai Chi, and oh my gosh, he is just a plethora of knowledge. He has learned so much modalities in that realm. I think he's learned like jiu-jitsu, and we'll get all to that next week. Until next week, I'm sending out blessings of peace, love, and bliss. Take care.